Hello, everyone. I'm going to be talking about a weird thing that happened with me and my friend. It's going to be a bit of a story video, this one. So, buckle up. So, my friend, we'll give her the name Jessie. She just broke up with her ex. It was kind of messy, the whole thing. For a month, every time I went out with her, because this is back when I used to go out clubbing a lot, there was a new guy she was so worried about because he was being like too obsessed with her. So this kept happening. So I just assumed that like maybe this was like a girl thing. I have, I've had a lot of female friends and, there's a lot of like guys like this. So I'm just on alert constantly, but ready to step in. And then I kind of realized that over time, I realized that she was like the first one texting him every time. She would pull them in and then played victim once they got attached. It got even like it got highlighted in this party I was with. So midway through this party, she then starts freaking out and starts like getting angry. She's talking about how, oh my God, this guy, he's just, he needs to get it, like, stop talking to me. So then I pulled her off him, and then he gets, while I'm sitting on the couch talking to her, chilling, he pulls up on us, looks at us both dead in the eyes, looks angry. Kind of made me curious, to be honest. I didn't really get mad at it. I just thought it was weird. But for the most part, I'm curious. As I was talking to the guy, he was talking about how, she was texting him about how they had like a bit of a thing going and how she talked to him first. And you know, I kind of and then I kind of found out she was just kind of looking for attention. And she was doing the same thing to me in a way. Like as me being like a protector, I was just the her audience. I was enabling this behavior partially. So because of this, I'm starting to realize that not everyone deserves my genuine attention or my genuine help. And regardless of like how old people are, because she's like 22, Jesse's like 22. Um, I would assume, a lot of these behaviors would be cut up after, high school. Now I understand that these behaviors carry on. Therefore, you should always weed out certain people. You should always filter people out and not not dislike them, but at the same time, not give them as much energy because people like this tend to just go in circles. But I've realized because I can't tell her that she's doing this because she just externalizes it, and I can imagine her being pretty angry if I told her that she's a someone who seeks attention, or maybe she's leading the guys on.
Why do you think she would get angry if you said, this is what you're doing? Obviously, I have my boundaries. I don't really like it. Why do people get angry when you tell them exactly what they are? Not in like a malicious way, but just in like a normal standard way.
I think it's because the behavior in the first place is probably a distraction. So if you do tell them, "Oh, this is what you're doing," it forces them to look within, and I feel like that's the most painful aspect of life for a lot of people. The true humility of who they are and what they're doing. I feel like that's why, you see a lot of the way society is and why we try and escape a lot of things through workaholism, coaches, etc.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has an overinflated ego, which is a good thing in most cases, but for the average human, it's probably not a good thing. So yeah, when they try and drown it out by going to clubs every week, drown themselves in social media, drown themselves in meaningless drama that doesn't do anything, that is just temporary. It's a way to avoid their true selves of who they are behind the mask because they know they won't like what they'll see. Self improvement, dropping that mask and seeing yourself in a damaged way is what makes you grow. But it's also like the hardest thing, especially when it comes to improvement. I feel like that's why it's
Yeah,
so hard for people.
it's definitely quite hard. I've actually got an example. I had this friend way back, and she was like the most like she was kind of shallow and self-centered, and I just couldn't handle being around her. So I just told her like I specifically because I'm like I didn't want to hang out with her anymore. So I specifically told her what she's doing. Like and like in this situation where, you it's like you're kind of just using people. Pretty much told her exactly that in the most objective way. Bro, she literally ignored me and started acting like a massive cretin, bro. Like
Yeah,
she started like fake crying and shit, bro. Like she started acting like a just because she didn't want to look within, she started treating me like I was like a massive villain.
yeah,
And that was literally it.
yeah. It's just projecting in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like obviously it can come across a bit harsh and a bit autistic the way you went about it, but
Hmm.
that reaction saves like it just tells you were right in that situation because
Yeah.
no adult who's like mature, even if they do feel a bit offended, they wouldn't behave like that.
Literally.
They would go, I'm offended. Well, not literally, but they'll be like, I'm offended. He's attacked my character. Like I don't feel like I'm doing this. But then they would go away, not in like a. They might be a bit like mean to your face, but then they'd go away and like reflect. But they wouldn't like react like that. I feel like that's
Yeah,
one of the worst reactions to getting told that.
it is. But yeah, that was actually a good point. It comes off as harsh and autistic. That's the thing though. When you are the kind of person who notices these kind of patterns with people, it will just be a massive differentiating factor between you and other people.
Mm,
It's like something you're not really meant to know, something you're not really meant to look into. And when you do look into it, you're just meant to brush it aside as like trauma or something like this.
mm.
I have a hard time feeling or thinking these kind of things that it's just excusable or there really isn't anything to do about it or it's just super shallow. I feel like there's a lot of space to for people to like for like society in general, for like everything to grow. And it's a bit of a shame that it just still when people are like this, it is just like an autistic thing, like in terms of like perspective, like from someone who looks at life from a really narrow point of view, it is just like a divergent behavior.
Yeah, I'd love for someone to come and tell me if I was behaving a certain way, even if I would react like really angry at first. I feel like reflecting later would make me want to change when I'm calmed down a bit. I feel like that's what's missing with the world. People like see people behaving in a way they don't like, but they'll just look down on them and be like in their own head or talk behind their back later. So the person
Mhm.
doesn't know whether to change or not in the future. So that person will keep behaving like that, and then it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, yeah, I love that too, but obviously most people won't. So I think that's the main thing. Most people won't like it, and a lot of times it makes the environment worse. So the cycle kind of has to continue in that way.
Why do you think your friend like makes themselves like a victim, even though they can easily escape from the self prison that they've put themselves in?
I think I think it's a quite a feminine thing, to be honest. I think it's more feminine than masculine, the whole victim thing. I think she kind of likes to see herself as a bit of a princess and a damsel in distress. I feel like she probably learned it from a young age. The more she acts like a victim, the more attention and approval and validation she gets. So therefore, she's kind of just repeating the cycle. And yeah, I feel like it's another form of just distraction, like alcohol, like watching TV. She's performing this act to spike her dopamine.
That's actually quite interesting. Do you feel like a lot of women do that? Because obviously they have infinite validation. So every time they get like these like little things that cause drama or entertainment that spikes their dopamine, do you feel like whose fault do you think that is? Just like women's or men's fault? Because at the end of the day, they have to get validation from somewhere to continue acting like this.
I actually don't know whose fault it is. I just mostly saw it as an out of scope society thing, not like anyone's fault. But yeah, I wouldn't know whose fault it is. All I know is for sure a lot of people, women do that because I've observed it. I've observed it in ways where it's just like so obvious, like, and everyone knows it's so obvious. Like even though it's like kind of camouflage, some girls just really don't give a shit.
Now that's happened, like, do you feel like in the future you'll be able to spot it out easily and you'll be able to set a boundary straight away? And if so, what would that boundary like be, and what would you like say if that ever happened in the future?
Um, I would probably say I've helped you once, but it seems like you're probably, you're not like a victim in this, in the sense that you want these guys, so just only ask me to help you if it's actually really serious. Don't ask me for like, silly situations. And for the future, I probably not only would I notice it quicker, I think I'm gonna start filtering out people who are a little bit more on the empty side, a little bit more on the no introspection side. Like aside in terms of the fact I'm probably just not gonna spend as much time and as much mental energy on them because it's just not worth it. I feel like it's a bit of a waste of time, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I feel like because I'm thinking of your friendship group right now. I feel like
Mhm.
if you had a big friendship group and you were like that
Yeah,
serious person who really cares about their boundaries and don't come with me with like bullshit, I feel like
yeah,
something similar could happen, and I could just imagine her looking around for like someone to tell a bullshit story to, like
yeah.
locking eyes with you and being like nah, and then picking someone else. That's a funny image that's just got put in my mind. Yeah, I
Wait,
feel like
what? Explain it deeper, please.
yeah, like her being a victim again in the story,
Oh yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
then looking around for her to tell like a bullshit story to,
Oh yeah, yeah.
locking
She would
eyes with
definitely
you,
do that.
and then just like not going to you because you know like you can smell the bullshit from a mile away and picking someone more naive. That's one thing that
Yeah,
setting
she
boundaries
definitely
can
do that.
do. It can like make your life so much easier and can definitely filter out annoying people.
Definitely. And it's also like the telltale signs of like the red flags people give. Like if someone's doing this kind of behavior, or someone like talks about how like their old friends are flaky, talks about a lot of shit about their exes, how every single time it's just like just telltale signs they don't really want to take any sort of accountability or responsibility for anything. I feel like it's just naturally like probably should just filter them out anyways.
Like how harmful do you think that type of behavior is?
On a scale to 1 to 10, I'd probably say like five. Harmful for the guy's reputation because they're literally just lying, like straight up lying, like a literal sin, bruh. Uh, so yeah, I'd probably say a five.
Have you seen any other bad things about them?
Like about that girl.
Yeah, any more red flags or just anyone else in general that makes you wanna just set more boundaries in the future?
In my head, I kind of put these people in the same kind of group. Like, I don't really feel like she's much different from a lot of people. She's very much like conventional in terms of archetype. So I'd probably just be like, um, yeah, I'll probably just set more boundaries against that group entirely. The empty kind of people, the ravers, the fucking clubbers, just because we don't really match that well. I'm not as dopamine needy as these people.
But do you not think the more you surround yourselves with them people, that the more you'll turn into them? Like
Not really.
subconsciously.
Um, I don't really go clubbing that much anymore, and I like talking to different archetypes. I don't like I like spending a lot of time in my like nerdy groups, but they can be a bit boring sometimes. I do like talking to a lot of different types of people on a general basis. I don't actually think I could turn into them. I feel like it takes a lot more. Like it's not the club's just a distraction. The archetype is like everything, like in terms of what makes them like that.
Mm.
I don't think I could be that, regardless of how much I surround myself or go clubbing. What about you? What's your personal experience with this?
I haven't had too many personal experiences with that. I feel like I'd clock on straight away because I'm not like that dopamine fried to the point where type of drama like excites me, or even like talking about it excites me. I'd
Mm.
probably just ignore it straight away. Feel like I'd be more like a prick when it comes to that situation, because especially as soon as I clocked on, I'd be like a massive prick when it comes to that.
You're not scared of, social repercussions. Like, this behavior is normalized in that group. You're
Yeah,
not scared you're gonna get looked at as a crazy man, bro. That
Uh,
happens a lot.
no, because I wouldn't be as harsh as you were. I'd probably say it in like a weird, funny type of way.
Mhm.
Because I feel like people can tell when you're like mentally drained from their existence. Because as soon as they came with me with that sort of issue, I'll just look not bothered, like cut them off, just like stuff like that. I'd probably do that first, and then I'll probably just like
Yeah.
start ignoring them later. Because I feel like
Yeah.
that is way worse than like harsh rejection, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Just filter them out. I feel like filter them people like this out is like the smartest way to go about it. Boundaries tend to be like I don't know what it is. Like it seems like it's like only like good, genuine people that can actually respect boundaries and not just see them as like a sense of disrespect or like you're trying to say they're like worse people. But boundaries just tend to be like that. So
Yeah.
that's why I prefer filtering people out.
Oh, I've clocked that as well. When you set like a boundary with like a lower IQ person, they just like do anything in their power to try break it. Realistically.
Literally, bro. They go, is that a challenge?
Serious.
Is that a challenge, bro?
Yeah, and they just think it's like funny and hilarious.
Literally, they don't realize like how deep it is. I think boundaries are very deep in the fact that if you can't respect my boundaries, you can't respect me. Like that's a big deal. But yeah, people definitely push it as far as they can, and when the boundaries come up, they push even further. I don't know why. That's why I prefer filtering. It's just to put your energy in. You get less social repercussion. You don't have to sound autistic. Like if I was to be, I don't tell people straight up not as much as I used to when I was younger. I used to be a little bit more naive. I assumed that people could handle it. But obviously most people can't handle it because I can handle it. So I just think people want critical feedback because that shit's like really good for me. Um, so yeah, it's just now I just like either politely, say like, okay, you took it too far, or filter them out. I feel like that's the best.
What's your filtering steps?
It's simple. I don't reply to their messages on time. I won't involve myself in issues they have. Like I won't try and problem solve for them. I won't try and help them. Anything I can help someone with, I won't do that for them because it's just like a waste of time. I feel like um I won't talk to them as much in social events. I won't pay as much attention to them. It's basic, simple stuff.
I feel like giving them a solution, like a be end and all solution, is a good way to filter people out. And then if they come back with like the same issue, then you just know they're not serious.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't serious. So what's your take on this? If since you haven't experienced it personally, how do you know about this and what where did you get these feelings from?
Obviously, because I've had just similar situations in general, and obviously I just like just don't really care as much. Like I don't really like giving energy sometimes because I can just feel it slowly being drained. So that's where it comes from. Just like once I hear it, and I'm just like I'm not bothered, and then just carry on with my life. Just a lack of care, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I'm starting to realize now. Like energy is kind of like a precious thing. I kind of took it for granted, but these people can drain the shit out of you. I thought I was very energetic, bro. Handle everything. But then some people, man, but they're just fucking like it's almost feels like never ending narcissism. It's like, oh my god, man. It's like shit can actually drain you, bro. What a crazy discovery.
Yeah, because it's literally never ending. Because if it happens once, it'll happen in a month's time. It'll happen in 2 weeks more of that time. It's just never ending. Someone who likes drama always has to have some sort of drama, and if drama goes away, then they're unhappy. I feel
Yeah,
like you
bro.
forget that. We forget that.
Yeah, she was trying to get my other friend's attention, and once he stopped paying attention, she got so unhappy, bro. She just left early, bro. She always does this. Like the minute she's not getting the attention, she gets mad unhappy, leaves early, and then
Yeah,
she blames that feeling on her autism. It's like what the fuck, dude.
yeah. Once they start blaming stuff on their like disabilities, that's when you know they're a D1 victim.
Victim alert nation,
because
bro.
they then have to have growth and have accountability that for their actions, and then they have to like completely dissociate from the fact that they have like autism to then grow even more. They have to like discard that the fact that they have autism, because once they
Yeah,
see it as like a disability, then it's kind of over for them. They have to play it as like their strengths and not their disability.
yeah.
So that's another hurdle that that person's gonna have to jump over if they do decide to grow and change.
Sure. I feel like we've been hitting a lot on. We've been what's the word? Yeah, we've been focusing a lot on women. Well, when have you seen these behaviors in guys? Would you say?
I feel like it's hard to see these patterns because not a lot of people get attention, and if in the same scenario, you're literally gonna just get told to go away to like stop being a
Literally.
weirdo, stop being a cretin in both scenarios. So I feel like they don't have the same they don't act the same way, and they don't get that attention or validation from anyone ever, except for their mum
Yeah.
at like 8 years old.
Yeah, because imagine being a guy going up to girls, bro, and then when they get interested, being like, "Oh, bro, she's making me uncomfortable." Like you
Yeah,
just get caught on grass. Oh my God, this shit would be so silly.
but I'm trying to think.
Maybe guys who like really want to be perceived as that guy, and they just hang out with females, even though like the girls don't give a fuck about that guy.
oh yeah, they guys crave a lot of attention from other men. That's a big thing.
Mm.
Because realistically, everyone wants like a nice car, a nice watch, a nice physique. But the only people who end up caring about that stuff is other men.
Yeah,
So
definitely can get like that because I feel like a lot of it's ego.
yeah,
Like it's very like a lot of women don't care about like too much competition or too much like egoism in that way, where it's like trying to conquer and trying to destroy the people. So it definitely can be very like man orientated.
yeah. And when they do have them the nice stuff, they'll go to their friends and go like, "Oh, is this good? Is this good?" And when they say yeah, they get that dopamine hits, knowing that they've impressed their friend or impressed another man, which is kind of gay, to be honest. But I think it's kind of normal as well.
Sure. All right. Final thoughts?
Yeah, it just shows people's upbringings, everything in their environment dictates how they act. And yeah, it shows a lot of humility and self growth to be able to change from that because it's really engraved in people's behavior. Because that's why you see
It,
people behave like that even when you work a corporate job or even when you work in like a hospital or even when you work construction, them same behaviors crop up every time. So
yep.
it just shows how, yeah, how people can stay the same if they don't like change their inner light.
Yeah, good point.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't see think that was perfect. I think you got it spot on. That's it.
All right, good episode.
True.